All right. We are back. Happy Friday, everybody. And yes, we promised earlier in the week that we would do something a little different than shoulder tap.
Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct. And we're going to call it Roast My Trading. Roast My Trades. And we've got Mick here with us right now. This is something a little different. And before we get into it, Jibo, this is for you. And what's up, Doc? There you go. There's your Bugs Bunny. And Mick, what do you got for us?
Well, I'm really excited to do this today. So moving away from shoulder tap, moving away from the rapid tap, today is going to be called Roast My Trades. That's what we're doing on Friday. I'm super excited about this because, Eddie, I think you know, and everybody else out there that knows me, I am a bit of a shit talker. It's all in good fun. And with us just calling this Roast My Trades, I get to talk some shit. So that's what I'm here to do. And I think I'm going to be pretty good at it. I do need some feedback, though. If I take things too far, do let me know. I'm trying to kind of put my toes in the water here a little bit. I don't want to be too hard on anybody.
Right.
You know, nobody knows how good of smack talking I can do better than my father-in-law. He makes himself a very easy target. I do a lot of that to him. So, today's going to be a lot of fun. I saw someone in the chat, shout out to Coho Salmon, calling this punch in the face. It's not going to be quite a punch in the face, but we're going to have fun with this. I'm calling it how I see it. I'm putting a fun spin on it, and I'm talking smack. So with that, these poor souls that submitted their names to us are going to get it from me. I think the first few are going to be a little bit light and easy, but we're going to dive in. What was that you wanted to say?
Let me ask you, Mick. Yeah, let me ask you now, if somebody submits a good trading report, I want to make sure that it's not only for the bad, that we want to make sure that if we do see something good, we can always sort of chime in on that. So don't be afraid. I know we're going to put the link in here again for maybe next Friday. But Mick, as you are, and lead us through this.
Let's not drop the link because we've had a lot of submissions with these. So I don't want to collect people submitting on, Friday of this week. They're not going to get used for Friday and next week probably. So
okay, we'll wait till next week. All right.
With even the people that I featured today, we've got good stuff that's in there. I'll highlight a little bit of that, but I'm going to be talking about, this is a roast, Eddie. This is a roast. So you don't really roast people on their good characteristics, qualities, or traits. And if I see someone who submits something like if there's a good trade report that I look at, I might skip over it. I might go, turn over some rocks to see if I could find some dirt on other trading combines or previous XFAs. A number of these people that we're talking about today, I looked at multiple accounts of theirs. But yeah, this is analyze. We went from analyzing their trades. We're going to do that. We're going to do it as a roast. So before we get to it, though, I've got some big shout outs here. We're talking about Dakota again today. I just got a message from him. He's saying he's done for the week. He's up $9,400 on the day today, which I think puts him right around $34,000 in profits for the week this week. We all know he's at the top of the leaderboard. He's been crushing it. He's got a good mind for money management in his live account, and he's brought his account balance up to a very cool $129,000 in the live account. And that's, I'm just talking straight up account balance, payouts aside, it's $129,000 sitting in that live account. So he's doing exceptionally well. And I'm happy he's walking away up big money on the day today, big money on the week. As we always talk about, lock in profits from a good winning day. If you're ahead well on the week, make sure you end the week ahead well. And he's ending on a high water mark and a new account balance high. So very happy for you, Dakota. We've also got Nicholas T up $4,400 in their live account, and David A up $3,400. We've got Xavier up $3,300. So hats off to everybody there. But let's get into the fun stuff. Can we pull up Levent's?
Get your grill going there. Get the grill going. You got a Weber, or what do you got? Gas, charcoal?
We're gonna put our toe in the water here. I'm not roasting this too much, but Levelent, your best day was only $230. Your worst day was almost 5 times that at $1,036. Your average losing day is $545. Your risk reward is 1 to 3. per contract, you're trading very small. You're only making $25 per contract on your trades, and you're risking $82. So risk reward has to improve. And then you're also spending 4 times as much time in your losing trades as you are your winning trades. There's a lot of things we could change here. Do the opposite of what you're doing as far as what you're risking, what you're taking down, and you might find a little bit of success. So that's my piece on Levelent. We're going to go quickly, Eddie. Let's move on to Samay. All right, here we go. So, hey, they're currently in an XFA, so shout out to them. They did have to reset 3 times in a single day to pass that trading combine to get them to the XFA. And then, in true form with these big swingers, they hit their $3,000 daily loss limit on day 1. I'm very happy that they made $4,900 on day 2. We'll see what happens, but if you're coming out of the gates risking 3,000, it's going to be you're probably going to risk 3,000 on other days, and it's not going to work. They are a big swinger, as you can tell by that first day in the XFA, losing $3,000, then making 4,900. But it's kind of hard to roast this person. They did have a previous XFA that they lasted for a little while in. They were able to take $22,000 in payouts from a previous XFA. So they may have even been on the leaderboard before. But, if they keep this up, they're going to probably only find short-term success like they did with that last XFA. Granted, that short-term success translated to $22,000 in payouts. But let's move on to Winston. Winston, I didn't have too much to talk about with Winston, but he also is in an XFA, and I like how he's trading small in his current XFA. Keep that up, and then put the pedal down when it's working. But something that they don't want to do in this XFA is what they did in the recent combine, where they made $113 on day 1 and then went back-to-back $1,000 daily loss limits to lose that account. So not to be replicated there. So, all right, let's move on. I think this is where we really get into the roasting, Eddie, with David C. When we get his card up, I'll speak my piece. So David might think that this is dancing and not trading. We're not supposed to be taking one step forward and multiple steps back, David, especially on day 1. So instead of resetting the practice account 32 times he has reset his practice account 32 times since February. Let's try and keep one account and figure out where we're falling short. This isn't Mario. We're not playing a video game. So don't reset those practice accounts. It means nothing other than your own development. So if you're resetting it and wiping the slate clean, you're not going to pinpoint where you're falling short. So don't reset that practice account. I think they should probably stick to the 150K account and pretend that it's a 50K account with the 50K account parameters. So they're not losing $4,000 of their $4,500 cushion after day 2. So, yeah, David needs to play some mind games with himself. Sign up for that 150K so you have the cushion, because we do have some unprofitable trading, but treat it as it's a 50K. So let's move on to Daniel. Daniel, you submitted your trade report, but you're kind of hard to roast because he's only had one trading combine with us. He's been a member since last week. He signed up for his first combine on April 7th. So it's going to be a little tough to grill him. I do like how he's selective with his trading. He's taken only 1.5 trades per day on average. And I like the hold times. He's spending 24 minutes in his winning trades and 16 minutes in his losing trades. And if he focuses on, bettering that risk reward, he'll be profitable being right only 50% of the time, like he has been in this current trading combine. All right, let's move on to Eosis. Some of these are not roast because I like the stuff. I talked about that earlier when we first started. So I like what I see on this current XFA Yosis. Only 3 trades on the day one. They're trading one lots. They've capped their losses to $330. As long as they're not replicating what I've seen in other trading combines, like the 1-to-2 risk reward, and worst days being, quite a bit. Worst days being 20 times larger than the biggest winning day, you got a chance at being profitable. So as long as you're not losing 20 times more than you are on your biggest winning day, you got a chance at being profitable. All right, the next one, Constantine. I could just roast him for his username, Eddie. The username is Superfly87. I got a year on you. I was born in 86. Superfly87. So it's going to be really tough to reach the profit target, Constantine, if you're wiping out your winning days, hitting that daily loss limit every single time it isn't working, meaning any losing day, they hit the daily loss limit. That is, it's going to be tough to make money doing that. Tale as old as time. So adjust your risk reward on a per trade basis as well as a per day basis. Don't lose $1,000 a day over here, okay? And if he was as patient with his winning trades as he is his losing trades, he might have actually passed a trading combine by now. They've been with us since 2023. No trading combine passes. So, Constantine, let's look at those losses. Let's preserve that capital, and maybe we'll get you to an XFA. Delane's all over the board, anywhere from 50K trading combines to 100K trading combines, trading the gold. So never have I ever seen someone who can't last longer than 3 days in an XFA that also has $250,000 sitting in their practice account. $250,000 account balance in the practice account, but they can't stay in an XFA longer than 3 days. So I'm going to make it easy for them. Go with 100K trading account size, but don't risk more than $500 to $1,000 on the day. You'll have a $3,000 daily loss limit, but you need a personal loss limit of $500 to $1,000. So goal number one here, we're here to preserve capital and find good trades to get paid. We're not here to burn through 6.66666% of our account on day one, and then the other third of that account on day two. Traders, if you're hitting the daily loss limit on day one in these accounts, these 150K accounts, you're losing $3,000 out of the $4,500 cushion you have, and then you go lose the other $1,500 on day two. I don't know if I can help you. You just can't do that. It's a hot stove. Don't touch it. Give yourself more than 2 trading days to try and find profits, but we need to preserve that capital. So until he can flip his risk reward from 1 to 3 and not make 30 trades in a day, I think he's going to struggle. Let's pull up Jason. Are we really cruising through these that quickly? Oh man, we're only 15 minutes into the segment.
You are, yes, you are.
And we're only 15 minutes into the segment. I'm on my last card. Usually with the rapid tap, we took up a little bit more time, Eddie. I'm going to need you to fill some space here, Eddie, for me. But let's jump in and okay. Let's jump. Well, interject anytime, pal. Interject anytime. Okay. With Jason here, I think for some reason, Jason thinks that he's going to be profitable, losing $1,000 every single time that they have a losing day, but he's not putting up $1,000 winning days. So might need to check your methodology there, Jason. If you're not regularly putting up over $1,000 a day, or a G-ball, as I like to call it, you don't belong risking $1,000 on your losing day. And also, in their last XFA, I got to say, try not to strike out on the first 3 pitches like you did in that XFA. 3 days, done. Traders, if you get to an XFA, we talk about starting slowly and not busting out. I don't know why some of our traders, they have this account where they can take payouts from, and then they blow it in 3 days just by risking too much money. Limit your losses early on. allow yourself to have a couple losing days initially without busting the account. I understand the idea to make a bunch of money and get payouts, but the people that trade like this, you might find a payout here and there, but you're not going to be someone who's taking payouts on a bi-weekly basis, on a monthly basis, throughout the year, throughout multiple years. So don't try and be one of those pop-a-shot people who they find short-term success and then they go back to step one of the trading combine. Trading combine's only one step right now, but go back to step one, which is the trading combine. If you've got an XFA, if you've got a live account, make sure that you're in the game for a while. It should be longevity should be the main focus here, and you don't want to be someone who finds short-term success, gets a payout for a couple grand, and then has to go sign up for a new trading combine. It's not going to help you out over time. Eddie, grinding it out and going through struggles, ups and downs, and then coming out of those struggles a better trader, a better person, smarter, better decision-making process. It's going to serve you that much better. $2,000 for a payout, and in the scheme of things is nothing. It's nothing. We need to be positioning ourselves and developing our skills to be able to take 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 over a long period of time. And that all adds up quite a bit.
Can I interject? Yes. It's not about how many times you fall. It's about how many times you get up. And I think we've all heard that saying a lot. If we don't fail, we don't learn. And considering what Topstep offers with the education and with the opportunity to get funded and have a career in trading, you've got to remember that losing is part of the game, but it's how you manage it. And from what we've seen here, first off, I'd like to say props to all those traders that we have just talked about. Those traders have said, you know what, hey, I'm not doing too good. I'd like to hear what needs to be said, as Mick has said. All right. And, we put a little tilt on it, a little spin on it with Roast My Trades for the Fridays. So props to those traders. And I hope the thing is that we are all learning this can happen. And Mick, I know that you've seen traders going live and losing it that day. I've seen that too, which is very disheartening. And I feel bad for the trader. But what we've got to realize is once we get to that, the XFA or the live funded account, you've reached a plateau where you want to be, where your goal was, where your targets were. No reason to jack up that gas pedal. The thing is, once you're in these accounts, you need to have that personal loss limit. Keep doing what you're doing. That got you to this position. And once again, I'm going to preach about small trades adding up. Once you get to these accounts, once you get to an XFA, once you get to a live funded account, even in your combine, you need to set a foundation. You need to get some small profits in there, all right, a foundation in case you do have a bad day, all right, that you can fall back on. But those that, like you said, the first three swings, and you strike out, that was on one of the cards, that's not the way to do it. That's not the way to do it, folks. And trust us, we're not misleading you. We're trying to shed light on what works, what doesn't work. Now, it might work. You might pull out that home run bat right away and have a big profit. I've seen that. I did that. But the odds for me, far and few. Right. And I'm just trying to be honest here. But go ahead, Mick.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. And like you said, mad respect to everybody that submitted their email addresses or their names for roasting my trades. I mean, if you're submitting, yourself for a roast, you're going to get it. And I might have to work on my roasting abilities. I felt like when I was drafting these up, number one, I had so much more fun putting these cards together than I have for the rapid tap, where it's like areas to improve, things to continue doing. But as I was going through and reading these all out, I'm like, did I really roast these people too much? again, I wanted to treat it delicately its first time, but if anybody's got any feedback on how I could be a better roaster, Eddie, I know you're in the entertainment business, and this is Tradertainment. I'm all ears, everybody. I'm not perfect. This is new, and I'm working on it, but I really want to stick with these roast my trades versus the rapid tap, and
I
yeah,
think it's a
I mean,
great segment.
anybody else that submits their name for this, no, it's not personal. We're trying to have a little fun, and obviously anybody that submits their name, you've got a good sense of humor if you're looking for a roast. So I'll try and do right by all
Right.
the traders that submit for these.
Mick, too, when my dad was alive, he'd sit me down when I did something bad and talk to me. But there were times where he'd kick me in the ass. All right. And I think in a comical way, in a progressive way, sometimes we need to do that. Even a lot of us traders here at Topstep, we sort of need that kick in the butt and realize, like I said, this week FOMO was sort of seeping into my trading. I needed to kick
Okay.
myself in the ass and say, listen, that's something that you have conquered years ago, and it's sort of easing back in again, FOMO coming back in again. So you've
Well,
got to be
I
very
saw
careful
you.
there.
I saw you typing in, gold making new highs, gold new highs. I know you're watching the gold. You getting the FOMO around the gold?
Earlier today, it just sort of knocked on my front door. I didn't answer.
Okay.
But earlier in the week, I had some losing trades, but sort of worked my way back on that. And past the 50K, so I'm waiting for that. So maybe next week I'll
Oh,
start trading on the XFA with the 50K. But I'm going to practice what I preach. I'm going to set that foundation. All right. I'm going to, set that safety net, small profits, and then I'm going to start pulling out the bigger wood and maybe, go for that
okay.
single, double, triple. But being very
I like
cautious
that. I
here,
like that.
very
Go
frugal.
small. Go small, like you were just saying. We talk about it all the time. Go small, and then when things are working, put that pedal down. You bring out your big wood, as you said. I
Right.
like that. Back to the roasting of the trades. I mean, I think it's fun for me and probably fun for others. Like, this feels very lighthearted to me, talking a little smack. You're pointing out areas where there's, room for improvement or certain things that people maybe shouldn't have done. And I think bringing an element of lightheartedness to our trading is a damn good thing, Eddie, because, trading should be fun. We all know it can be stressful, aggravating. I mean, I've had like mild depression before from trading too. I remember, when things are good and you're making money. I think back to my early days when my desk was in my room and I would pop out of bed at 5 a.m. before my alarm went off and go watch the markets. And then there were those drawdown times where you were losing money every day you got into the markets, and it's like, I don't want to
Right.
crawl out of bed. So trading should be fun. Obviously, it's more fun when we're making dough and doing things right. But try and stay lighthearted. If you have your
Hmm.
method or your strategy and you're implementing it, try and stay lighthearted. And the easiest way to control your emotions, and it's been a while since I shared this, the easiest way to control your emotions is sticking to the limitations that you have on yourself, but more so
Yeah.
on a per trade basis, framing out those trades. I want to go long gold here. Okay, this is where I need to enter the market. This is where I'm getting out if I'm wrong, whether it's a price level or a dollar value, where my puke tolerance is. And then this is where I'm getting out if I'm right. And if you have those things framed out, where you're getting out if you're wrong and where you're getting out if you're right, psychologically, it's so much easier to move on to the next trade, especially if you have the loss. And if it's a winner, great. It's no doubt easier. And you can say, hey, I was right. Building
Right.
confidence, move on to the next one with even more confidence.
Well, Captain Roaster, I think we are just about out of time, and I think this segment has been very beneficial. And next week, we'll give that link again, and do this again on Friday. I think
Yeah.
um, we opened a lot of eyes here. Okay, but Robert's going to be up here next. There is the link. We pinned it up top here for Coach Robert. If you got a question, click that link. Coach, call him Robert the Riz Cooney, will be here to answer all of your toughest questions. But Mick, before you go, what's up for the weekend, my friend? You get the family trip at all going on?
No family trip this weekend. I got some options. I know Saturday night I'm going out for the UFC fights. Going to watch those.
Really?
I'd like to play some golf on Sunday, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it out for an early tee time if I'm up past midnight watching the fights on Saturday. But
All
maybe
right.
if anything, I'll probably watch a little of the Masters or something. And who knows? It's supposed to be nice. I'm pale as can be. I'm dying to get a little vitamin D and change the pigment on my face. So I may go out and play a little golf.
All right. All
What
right,
are you
my
doing?
brother. All right. You have me taking Geritol and soaking my feet in Epsom salt. No, I got other things to do, but I'll share with those things next week if they pan out. But otherwise,
I don't.
yes, Mick. Oh, Mick! Look, Mick just turned into Riz. Hello,
Oh,
Riz.
there's Coach Robert. We are gonna get out of here real quick. We'll see you in group coaching
All right,
in just
we're
a
gonna-
couple minutes.
We're gonna take a break here, and we're going to come back with that guy that you see in the other box here, Coach Robert and JD. We'll be right back.